What is up, everybody? I wanted to go over with you the Google Drawing portion, the art portion of your create a continent assignment. Okay, so everything else is going to be described in the slides and in class, but I wanted to create a tutorial to show you how to use Google Drawings. Okay, so here we go. When you're done, your country will look something like this. There's going to be forests, cities, a capital city, an island, a volcano, and this didn't take me that long to make. Okay, so that's why I want to do this tutorial to show you guys that it doesn't really take that long. When you start, your assignment is going to look like this. It's just a template, a lot of empty space. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, so you can make this, like I said, you can name it after whatever you want. It could be food you like, movies, music, any hobbies, any sports you play. So I'm gonna make mine after boxing. Yeah, boxing is another favorite sport of mine. So let's go ahead and get started. And if the mouse is blinking, I'm not sure why that's happening. The cursor is blinking. All right. So I chose my shape. I went with a rounded rectangle. And I'm going to color this red. Okay, so I'm going to click on fill color and then go to dark red. And now we have a dark red square there. Now to make another one, I'm just going to hit Control C on my keyboard and then Control V. It's going to give me another one. Okay, so I'm going to move this over here. I want this to be a little bit bigger. Move this that way a little bit. All right. So boxing gloves usually have a thumb piece on them, right? Where the thumb goes. So I'm going to shrink this down to be that thumb piece. Okay. So there we go. We've already got our boxing gloves and our thumb. I'm going to add a little more to the boxing glove to give it more detail. And remember, this is my land. This is what my country is going to look like. I'm going to make that there. Let's make that white. So I'm going to go to fill color, choose white. Now it's got white. On the eastern part of that land, I'm going to duplicate that by hitting Control C and Control V. So Control C is to copy, Control V is to paste. Okay. And I also want this land to have, or this country, this continent to have an island. So I'm going to give it a round island like this. Okay. And let's make this island a desert. Okay. So if I want something to be a desert, I have to use that color there that it says in the legend. Okay. That same color. So if you click on the item that's the correct color, it's going to give you that color right there, right? So I'm going to click on this shape. I'm going to go to the color that it gave me. That matches. Now it turns that circle that correct color. Okay. So I'm going to create a new circle in the center. Actually, you know what? Let's put a volcano in the center. So I'm going to click on this volcano symbol here. I'm going to hit Control C and then Control V to make a copy of it. Now there are two. Okay, I'm going to drag this over to the center. All right. Now we also have to have mountains and forests in our country. I'm going to click on this symbol here. I'm going to hit Control C. Okay, you can also right click and hit copy and paste. I'm going to hit Control C though. I like to use the keyboard. Control C and then Control V 4 times. That gives me 4 mountains, and then I'm just going to put them over here where I want my mountains to be. Okay, you just click on them and drag them over. And if you want to, you can change the shape of these mountains. If you want to have a really large mountain, you just would drag it out like that. Okay, maybe that's the biggest mountain of the 4. So it looks like that. Okay. We're going to add a city. Let's say my capital is over here in the mountains. So I'm going to click on that star and then hit Control C and then Control V to create another star. Now we got 2. I'm going to drag this one over. And I already put this here for you guys, the city and town labels. You're going to make copies of these. Okay? I'm going to hit Control C and then Control V to make a copy. I'm going to move that over here. And then I'm going to name my city Tyson City after Mike Tyson. Okay? So if you're making yours after a story or after a food, name the cities and the towns. Give them names that are related to the like culture of the country, right? This is a boxing country, so Tyson City. We want to create a forest, so I'm going to do the same, just go through the same steps that I did for the mountains. Okay, so I created extra ones already. I'm going to move them over here where I want my forest to be. Then I'm going to change the shape. Maybe I want really big trees. You can do that if you want. Just make sure you have room for everything. Okay. And we have to label that as well. So I'm going to call this, I'm going to take my landform template, hit Control C and Control V to create another one. And we'll call this the Canelo Forest. All right, there we go. That's the name of my forest. I got the name of my capital here. All right, we also want to have names for the volcano. So I'm going to call my volcano. I'm going to grab this one and make a copy of it. Sorry. All right, there we go. So I've made my copy. I'm going to drag that over here. Now I'm going to call my volcano Mount Floyd. Okay, for Floyd Mayweather. All right. And let's say I feel like the island's a little small. Now we can do this to make it bigger, right? All right. Let's say you want to put a jungle in your, or actually a lake, right? We have to have a lake here. So I'm going to change that. Actually, guys, we're going to have a lake in the assignment. Okay, so your template will have the word lake already there. All right. I'm going to make my lake this shape here. Okay, so we'll put a lake there. I'm going to change the color to match the color that it should be for lakes. Boom, there you go. Okay, so there's the lake. All right, let's say there's another city by the lake. Okay, I'm going to go to the city symbol, click on that, hit Control C, and then Control V to paste it, and then drag it over here. Yeah, I know from studying history that there's always a lot of cities. A lot of cities start near water, right? So that's important to us. So we'll put a city there, and then we'll call this city. Actually, first let's move the label. So I'm going to make a copy of that label, move it over here. All right. We're going to name that city Ali, after the boxer Muhammad Ali, right? All right, so I'm just going to move that over here, and that's the name of our city. Let's see. All right, so now we got our city name labeled, we have our capital labeled, we have our landforms labeled, the forest over here. You're going to be naming your desert. Okay, it's going to look like this, right? You're going to name your desert, you're going to name your island, you're going to name the mountain ranges, you're going to name the forests, right? Let's put a jungle in ours. Okay, so let's put a jungle that goes all along the coast here. Okay, so I'm going to put another shape. Like that. And then I'm going to color it the correct color for a jungle. Okay, so if you click on the actual square there, it gives you the color, right? So there it is. Okay, so you just need to go back to the square here and then choose that color. Okay, so the color matches, and you can say that's a jungle. All right, and then I'm going to copy my landform shape or landform label over here, and we'll call this the let's call this the jungle of Manny, right? For Manny Pacquiao. Okay, so I'm just naming my stuff after like famous boxers. If you're gonna do one on skating, then you can name it after famous skaters. If you wanted to name your land after like Harry Potter, you can use the names of the characters in Harry Potter or whatever movie you want, right? Maybe your land is a superhero land and all the cities are named after like the Avengers or something. You're just gonna do that, okay? Um, Now, when you have finished adding in your all your different landforms, right? So, um, I've got my forest over here, right? I got my mountains over here. This is my lake over here. That says Laker for some reason. There we go. All right, your lake is here. I've got my cities. You're gonna have a requirement of 2 cities and a capital city. Once you've done all that, guys, once it's all pretty much finished, you're going to click on this blue square over here. Don't touch it until you're done. Okay, this is going to be the last step in your process. You're going to take this blue square, and I've already got it set so that when you drag it, it goes behind everything. It doesn't go in front of it. Okay. So you're going to drag it out this way, and then it's going to look like your land is surrounded by water. Okay. There you go. So I'm going to move it back, and the reason I don't want it to be spread out across your art in the very beginning is because because this is just a shape here, it kind of gets hard to move things around. Okay. But I know that there's going to be an ocean there now, right? So let me create a few more landform labels. Okay, we'll call this the ringside ocean. And this is going to be another sea over here. Let me see. Okay. We'll call this the heavyweight sea. Okay, or actually the sea of heavyweights. That sounds cool. All right. Okay, so you can change the fonts if you want. On a lot of maps, you'll see that the oceans are like in italics. So let's do that. The Sea of Heavyweights, the Ringside Ocean. And if you want to just not have a border on the box, guys, where it goes to border color, just click on that, and then you just click transparent, and the box goes away. Okay? So you click on the box, click on border color, click on transparent, and then it's gone. Right? You won't see it until when you click on it, and then you'll see where the box would be if it had a color. All right, so then I'm going to drag out my water over here. Like I said, it's going to show behind everything. I still need to name my country, so we'll call it Boxenia. And there we go. Okay. It could get, you're going to spend more time on this. I did this in less than 15 minutes. But just be creative with it, right? You can add more shapes. You can add extra cities if you want. My history is something I just made up on my tennis country here. And it's just a chance for you guys to be creative and kind of like think about, what may cause cultures to live the way they live. And it's a chance to learn to use this Google Drawing app. All right. So guys, let me know if you have any questions. Obviously, this video only pertains to using Google Drawings. So I hope it helps. If you're absent or if you're working on this after class, check out this video to assist you with how to use this software to create your drawing. Okay. Bye.